It's the most powerful position in the world, and we are at a time where the most powerful position in the world has an opportunity to bring us closer together as a people and inspire the youth and put the youth at ease on saying that it is okay for me to walk down the street and not be judged because of the color of my skin or because of my race. And he has no recollection of that, and he doesn't even care. We have to figure out a way how we come together and be as great as we can be as the people. Because the people run this country, not one individual, and damn sure not him.
Welcome back to First Things First. Some strong words from LeBron James yesterday, reacting to the news everyone's been talking about this week, President Trump's recent comments. Nick, I'll start with you. What was your reaction to some of LeBron's remarks?
LeBron has, I think, clearly stated, and sometimes unstated, but he has two obvious big picture goals. One, to be the greatest basketball player ever. Nothing he says is going to affect that, right? Like, that's purely going to be based on how he and his team performs. But his second goal, which is maybe even more of a big picture goal than the basketball player one, and the one that is more in question than the first goal, because LeBron cemented his basketball player. Worst case scenario, he's the third greatest player ever. So a lot of people, I think smart people, have him as the greatest player ever. However, not the point. His second goal,
thank you.
No problem, Stacey. His second goal is multimedia mogul billionaire. He is putting that at risk with comments like that because he thinks and believes and feels it's the right thing to do. We have seen athletes take stands, or maybe more apropos, take knees. Some have taken enormous risks. Some have done it taking, relatively speaking, very little risk. The financial risk LeBron is taking here, the burden he is putting on himself when the president's called out a lot of people, never called out LeBron. The president didn't take this fight to LeBron. LeBron took this fight to the president. And even if you disagree with LeBron, even if you stand with the president, go ahead,
Steph
CC.
Curry, too.
Yeah.
Ironically.
LeBron put Steph Curry under his arm and said, I got you, man. I am the standard bearer of the league. And to be honest, I am the standard bearer of American sports. The NFL might be more popular, but there's no singular player in the NFL more powerful than I am. So everybody, on behalf of sports, I got this. Let me fight this fight. Let me be at the front of this. And even if you are a devout supporter of the president, even if you do not like LeBron James, man, oh man, hard to not respect it. LeBron James believes that it is important enough to risk potential business partnerships, we're talking tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars in, we don't know how this is going to land with the business community, with the ownership level community. And he said, doesn't matter. I'm going to sit here in my Cleveland Cavaliers jersey on media day and take the responsibility myself.
LeBron's in a strange position. He's verbalized what he wants to be as a basketball player. He's also verbalized what he wants to do socially. And also from a business standpoint, he's verbalized, communicated that he would like to own an NBA team. So in the criticism that came from the White House to the players, and you have to realize from a financial standpoint, the NFL might be more popular, but the players in the NBA, they have more security. So it's refreshing to me that someone, because the attack from the president was based on taking a knee, but also based on telling the owners, I want this to affect their employment. Because a lot of those guys don't have guaranteed contracts. So LeBron stepping to the forefront, it helps the NFL cause. Now, LeBron is a huge fan of the NFL. Was a high school All-State till he broke his wrist. Then his handlers told him, that's enough football for you. So it's also, to me, listening to LeBron yesterday, I felt like I was in a time machine. And I felt like, even though I was very, very young, but if I had been around and had an understanding of what Muhammad Ali, what he said, what Jim Brown, what they stood up for, Bill Russell, Kareem, and all those greats of another era that were at the forefront of all social issues. I love the fact that LeBron said it's not about the flag. He also said that he wouldn't take a knee. It's about social injustice. Let's keep the conversation there. All right? We're not going to disrespect the flag. I'm not going to personally take a knee. He said his voice was more valuable than his knee. And to me, it was refreshing to a person of such prominence to come along to help out the NFL, because he really did help the NFL in his overall stance. But LeBron wants the same thing that I want, man. I don't want to be terrified when my son gets pulled over, he's got dreadlocks, and people racial profile him. I don't want people to look at my daughter a certain way. I want them to have the best chance to be successful, just like any other person, regardless of what their skin color is. That's all we want. We want the same American dream that everybody else experiences. And we don't think that our kids, and LeBron is not speaking for his kids, but the kids who grow up with his kids,
Right.
that they have the opportunity to be successful in this thing that we call America.
I don't think anyone's going to jump out here and say, I vehemently disagree with everything LeBron said. I think for the most part, and I go into this by saying I don't have a hard take one way or another. I fully agree with what you guys are saying. Thought he was great that stepped up. I don't think he weighed and tried to balance his financial future on the words that he said. I don't think he had a conversation with them about, all right, well, these are the endorsements. These are the things I made.
But that's what's impressive about it, Jenna.
Right. Okay, so I don't think that factored into it all. My point is you gave him a lot of credit for doing that. Despite that, I don't think that was ever a concern.
No. This is, wait a second.
But
this is LeBron's natural instincts, okay? Like being calculated or non-calculated, I don't really think that that's the storyline. But this is
right.
LeBron. This is his natural instincts as a human being.
No, and I understand that. And I guess my point was, whether it was or not, I'm not sure. I'll honestly say I'm not sure. What I liked yesterday was the fact that I don't remember in recent memory an issue where the biggest players in multiple sports, and we just haven't, it'll happen in baseball. We had someone that kneeled in baseball, and eventually it'll happen in hockey when we get around to it, where someone, the big names in multiple sports have come together and said, we're all on the same page. I don't remember when everyone in the NFL was on the same page for something. And now it's really refreshing to see LeBron come out and Tom Brady and the Aaron Rodgers and the Russell, like everyone's sort of coming together on one side of this.
Here's the thing. Everyone NFL-wise has come together on what I would call, for the most part, the easy part of this. We are united. We are going to lock arms. We disavow calling us SOBs. LeBron took it a step further. He if you watch that full press conference, he refuses to call the president by his name. He goes right at him. And he says, basically, on behalf of sports, this isn't okay.
Yes.
And it is remarkable when I then remember, this dude's younger than I am. LeBron's 32 years old, has been, like, with no dad, really tough upbringing.
No formal training.
No formal training, no formal education. And the guy's been in the public eye for 16 years. And the biggest mistake he's made was one that ended up raising $4 million for the Boys and Girls Club. Every time this guy has an opportunity to step up, he steps up and he leads with his conscience. And even if you disagree with his message, which I obviously don't, but even if you do, man, you got to respect someone who he doesn't have to say anything. This was Steph Curry's fight and the NFL's fight. LeBron made it his fight. And I think that's wildly impressive. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go Go watch a few segments from some of our other great shows on FS1.